This is Jim Emter, Van Ahn Co, Alexandria, Minnesota, with your closing grain and livestock comments for April 23rd, 2021. Corn market up 5 cents today. Beans up 6.5. Chicago wheat steady. Minneapolis up 10. Kansas City up 5 3/4. On the week, the corn market up 70 cents. Soybeans up 106.5. Chicago wheat up 57 3/4, Minneapolis up 54 1/4, Kansas City up 64. So big week, boys and girls. This is a big movement here. When you look to what's ahead around the next corner, obviously planting weather going to be a big focus next week. A little bit of a cool, wet start had the planters at idle from versus what could have been an early start. But next week will maybe culminate and open up those windows a little bit more aggressively as you work to the last week of April and open up May as well the following week. Demand going to be the other big focus. We haven't done a lot of damage to the demand structure. One's got to wonder if this latest price move is going to start to impact that demand, and we'll have to watch that closely. Also, South American dryness, the safrinha corn crop dealing with some very dry conditions, and that was a big feature for the corn market as to why it led the charge on a higher percentage versus the other grains this week. Feeder cattle up 160, live cattle down 47.5, back months up 80. Hog market up 217.5 on the week. Feeder cattle were down 577.5. Live cattle down $3. Hog market up 687.5. So overall, the hog market came back in here, settled above this 101, settled in, and kind of got stuck in this range around 105. The index is around 106.50. Exports were a bit of a miss with the Mexico cancellation from 2020, but overall, we also see Mexico purchases to keep us current to some degree. And again, we can have that little bit of miss as USDA gets the books squared around. Cutouts were strong though. Futures came back. So overall, a market that's settling in near the higher end of the part of this range here. Cattle, on the other hand, didn't fare so well. Feeder cattle against a key weekly price count here. Very important that we hold this or else bigger downside price counts can come to fruition. As long as corn can stabilize, we think this feeder cattle can see some of that buying in there, but we got to get by the cattle on feed report first, and we'll see what the undertones are Monday morning after that. Live cattle base, 118 to 124 live trade, 189 to 194 dress trade. When you look at the index, 137.50, and exports were great this week. So again, we need to watch that corn market next week, watch planting conditions, and also see what the cattle on feed report does to the market. This has been Jim Emter, Van Ahn Co, Alexandria, Minnesota. Trading futures and options involves risk of loss and is not suitable for all producers. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This is a solicitation. Have a great afternoon.